Frank Amyot was a Canadian sprint canoeist from Ottawa, Ontario. He made history by winning Canada's only gold medal at the 1936 Berlin Olympics. Competing in the C1 1,000-meter solo canoeing event, his victory was not only a personal triumph, but a defining moment in Canadian Olympic history.
Born in 1904, Amyot grew up paddling on the Rideau Canal and was a proud member of the Ottawa Canoe Club. He's won multiple titles while representing the club, including the Canadian Intermediate Singles title in 1923. Following 1923, Amyot won 6 consecutive Canadian Senior Singles Championships, a feat that remains unmatched to this day. In 1935, he was appointed coach, manager, and member of the first ever Canadian Olympic paddling team.
Frank Amyot's road to the 1936 Olympics wasn't easy. Even after qualifying to represent Canada, he received no financial support from national support officials. At the time, amateur athletes were expected to fund their own travel, especially in lesser-known sports like canoeing.
Determined not to miss his chance, Amyot had to successfully raise his own funds to compete in Berlin, with a campaign called the Frank Amyot Olympic Fund. Turning to his friends, community, and fellow paddlers to raise money, through their donations and support, Frank could compete on the world stage.
The 1936 Olympics were held in Berlin, Germany, which was under Nazi ruling. The Games were used by Adolf Hitler to promote Nazi ideologies and showcase Germany's strength. Many countries consider boycotting due to Germany's treatment of Jews. Despite the propaganda, Canada won a total of 9 medals, 1 gold, 3 silver, and 5 bronze. Contributing to this was Frank Amyot's historic performance in the 1,000-meter canoeing, bringing him home gold for Canada.
Using a canoe which was approximately 25 pounds heavier than any he had previously been accustomed to, the 6'3" Ottawa boy propelled his craft over a 1,000-meter course in the amazing time of 5 minutes, 32.1 seconds to lead the closest rival, Bohuslav Karlik of Czechoslovakia, by 4.8 seconds. Eric Koschik of Germany was third, 2.1 to the rear of the Czech star. The race was a thrilling affair, and Amyot, whose straining muscles radiated power, was not certain of winning until he passed Karlik about 90 meters from the finish line. When he passed the German, the latter seemingly folded, his spirit broken by the stout-hearted display of the mighty Ottawan. At the 100-meter mark, Amyot and Karlik were on virtually even terms after Amyot had set the early pace. The Czech star caught Karlik about 50 meters from the finish, but he could not outmatch the marvelous performance of the Amyot. Other members of the Canadian team rushed to the finish line as Amyot paddled to the float. They grabbed him out of his boat, raised him on their shoulders, and carried him off to the boathouse.
After retiring from competition following the 1936 Games, Amyot was made a member of the Canadian Olympic Hall of Fame in 1949 and Canada's Sports Hall of Fame in 1955. After his time as an athlete, he also worked with the Canadian Canoe Association to ensure Olympic athletes had appropriate financial backing to attend future games.
He also served in the Royal Canadian Navy during World War II. Amyot reached the rank of lieutenant commander until he died in 1962, when he was only 50 years of age. He had a career with the Canadian government in the Department of Veterans Affairs.
Frank Amyot was more than a gold medalist. He paved the way for the future of competitive canoeing. He acted as a leader and a contributing force in Canadian sport. From paddling in the Rideau Canal to standing on top of the podium in Berlin, he did so while remaining humble and modest. His legacy lives on not just in Olympic victory, but in every Canadian athlete who follows a dream, no matter the obstacles. Unfortunately, Frank passed away at the age of 58 due to complications with cancer, though his legacy still remains in Canadian sport history to date.